Hey there, sports fans. You're watching the K&C Masterpiece. For Kevin Hagelin, I'm Corey Majors. Just wanted to say thanks, Kenny Green, for doing a great job behind the camera. You're the cameraman, always walking around snapping photos.
You're talking about the cameraman because you're afraid you're going to drop a profanity like you did in the last video that we can't show?
We didn't show that one? I think if they search, they could probably find it.
Why don't you go through every single one of these videos, see if you can find it. And if you can't, just enjoy some hilarity of the K&C Masterpiece. I'm Kevin Hagelin. This is Corey Majors. It's report card time. I know you're like, I just took my exam. How did it get graded already? Well, guess what? We got the grades for you. So if your teacher says you failed and you're on the basketball team, show them this. They'll kick you out of their office, but at least you'll feel like you did a little something. All right. Are you going to be okay there?
I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
All right, let's start with the Plano East girls. All right, for the team grade, we gave them an A. Coaching grade, A+. Playoff prognosis, a lock. I can't imagine a better first year for Coach Mingleton at Plano East.
You know, she said to me the other night she was 7-0 at Richardson Pierce, and then she said it all kind of started falling apart. She said it could change at any minute. And that she's done a great job here. She's got them at, what, 8-0 right now?
8-0 in district
In district play, 8 straight wins. Yeah, I can't imagine anything better for her. She deserves an A. Probably deserves an A+. Did we give her an A? We gave her an A?
We gave her an A+.
That's
the
right.
team an A. Only reason the team didn't get an A+, would have liked to see just a little bit more from them during tournament. But an A is still phenomenal. They're in first place, 1 game ahead of Plano West, 4 games ahead of the third place team. They're an absolute lock.
Oh, definitely.
Even if they lose their last 6 games, they probably could still get into the playoffs.
I don't see any chance that they don't get in the playoffs, but I do see a reason for them to continue playing because, hey,
you want to win that district title.
You want to win the district title, and also you don't want to go into the playoffs with no momentum. You saw what happens when people go into the playoffs with no.
I thought you refused to even acknowledge that even happened.
It didn't happen. Okay. Anyway, on to the next.
Next up, Plano West. Team gets an A-, coach gets an A-. Playoff prognosis, a lock.
All right, now is an A- a bad thing? I don't think so, but you throw that little minus on the end of it, and it makes it look worse than a B+.
All right, anybody who would rather have a B+ than an A- is a Nimrod. Okay, A- is better. Now the thing is, they don't get as high a score as Plano East. They're in second place in the district. They got to win the rematch just to move into a tie. But still, this is a phenomenal year Plano West is having. They lost 4 out of their 5 starters. The 5th starter, Katie Makadani, she was injured when the season started.
Ankle.
I mean, they have plenty of size, and that is something that helps them out. But you know what? Just because you got somebody that's tall doesn't mean your team's going to win anything.
That agility thing comes into play sometimes.
Like we saw with a good old Sean Bradley back in the day. All right, you got to have players that can play basketball, and you need a coach that can lead a team of young players. You look at the sophomore class for Plano West, it's phenomenal. This team's going to get better and better and better. But right now, I think they're just a slight step below Plano East. Be really interested to see how that rematch turns out.
Yeah, that discipline level that Coach Patterson instills in these girls at this young age is going to pay off later down the road for sure. Go on to Plano Senior.
All right. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. Plano Senior. Team gets a B+, coach gets an A, playoff prognosis on the fence. Now, tell me, for the people who are asking, how does the Plano West coach get an A- when his team's 7-1 in district? Plano coach, 4-4 in district. She gets an A. Explain it to me.
All right. Now the B+ for the girls players, that's not because they got injured. That isn't the reason we gave them a low grade. They couldn't help but get injured, but that's why the coach gets the higher grade. Hey, when you get players. Couple of different players that were injured. It's not that I don't know how to say her name. I didn't want to mention the name in particular. But you know,
season-ending injuries.
2 season-ending injuries, and then those are your 2 best players. You're hoping, you're thinking, all right, these girls are going to lead my team next year. And then right when you get in the season, boom, gone, out of the picture. Got to find somebody else to fill the hole. And if you got nobody to fill the hole, if you got somebody you have to teach to play the game. Man, that's what all Meager's done all season is teach girls. And she's got a freshman, Jordan Weatherby. She's playing lights out right now.
Sophomore Carson Manchin.
You can't just expect these girls to roll out the ball and play. You've got to teach them something. I think her and Rodney Belcher, Coach Meager and Rodney Belcher are doing a great job.
So the girls still get a B+ because, there have been some struggles, but that's certainly understandable. But what Coach Meager has done coaching-wise has been just amazing. If you take out, they have Do they only have the one senior? I know they only have one senior this season.
Ashley Dolberry is the only player that's really played some basketball for this team. Quinn McKee, she played volleyball as well.
Senior.
You know, she's getting a little playing time too. But
if you take them out, this could be a JV team.
It really
not in terms of talent, but in terms of youth. So I'm very impressed with that. Bottom line, all three of the Plano teams, I think they've done an excellent job this season considering the various circumstances. And the two of them are locks for the playoffs. One of them, it's going to come down to the very end, but I like their shot. Yeah,
I think Plano has an opportunity. They need to beat Allen. They can beat
Wiley.
They need to beat Wiley. They can get in. I really do. I think they can. But in my opinion, the young girls, the freshmen, the sophomores, they got to grow up. I mean, now that they're on the varsity level, they have to play varsity ball. So if they take that step and they grow up, I think that they really have a chance to make it. They got some good athletes.
Same situation with the West. You got to like the future there.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about boys basketball. I think this grade right here is the most contentious between us. Is Plano East boys. Team gets an A-, coach gets a B. Playoff prognosis seems like a shoe-in, but what's the but?
All right, look. My opinion all season long, Plano East going to be district champions. Kevin seems to think that that's a different story. I'm going to let him explain the but because he's the one that made that one up. I'm not even going to take any credit for this. Kevin, that's all you. I'm not going to take any of the blame.
I appreciate you throwing me under the bus. You just said credit, now you switched to the blame.
I pushed you under the bus.
I agree.
And then kicked you.
Plano East should win this district. But Plano East also had no business losing three games in a row. One in a tournament, two in district. All right, we've talked about it. You don't want to get into the specifics because these are high school kids. They've had some off-the-court problems that they need to get it together. Their top 7 rotation is filled with all seniors. You shouldn't run into this kind of nonsense with seniors, all right? This team has all kinds of talent. There is no reason that not only should they win this district, that they should not make a deep playoff run, and then who knows what could happen. All right, that's why I think the team gets an A- for some losses along the way, and the coach gets a B, because I think Coach Bleedorn is very organized, very good at what he does, but there has been some problems this season. And it's really going to fall to him to get everyone in line. But if he does get everyone in line, not only will this team make the playoffs, maybe win the district, you just might see them in Austin. There's that much talent on this team.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you on that. This team's capable of doing so much. Whether or not they take advantage of it this season and realize, hey, as seniors, they only got one season. This is the last season they have left. That's still to be seen. So, moving on.
Plano West. Team gets an A, coach gets an A, Plano playoff prospects lock. Now, I'm surprised by how the West team has done this year. I thought they would be good. Talking with some of the players, talking with the coaches, you kind of thought maybe next year would really be the year that they would blow up. I know they have people like Wilson Neely, Ross Self, seniors on this team that weren't going to be around next year and have done really well, but I wasn't expecting them to do this well. Ranked number 4 in the state, tied for first in the district.
Yeah, Jackson Jeffcoat, he made that transition from being a guy who could just pound on the boards. Now he has a little touch around the basket, and that really helps those guys out. That really helps those guys out. You got guys like Mike Grossell. You got guys like Jimmy Jones. You got
Ross Self, Wilson Neely, Bakari Turner, who we're going to talk about more as it goes on because he's only played a couple of games
since he's been
eligible for varsity. But if you haven't seen him, go to the West gym, go to whatever gym they're playing at, check him out. He's going to be a player. He's also a sophomore. Those two guys are going to be around for plenty of time. But there's more to it. I mean, you got Jimmy Jones, you got Darrell Marshall, you got Tyler Melville. There are so many talented players on this team.
Deep bench.
You got to figure out how to balance out the minutes, how to win down the stretch. This team is outstanding. They're ahead of schedule. They're going to be in the playoffs. I can't wait to see how they do because West in boys basketball doesn't have a rich tradition in the playoffs.
Yeah, and teams like that could get in, then all of a sudden they don't realize where they are, and they're at the end of it.
So there you go. Your 2 playoff teams are right there. Now, team that's not going to make the playoffs, Plano Senior boys. We gave them an incomplete on the team grade, coach grade a B, playoff prognosis, watching from the stands.
If we gave them an incomplete, should we just leave it at that?
Fair enough. You know that, I mean, football team, they weren't waiting for the football guys, but still, that was a big part of their team. And now that they're coming in, things might change a little bit, but it looks like it might be too late. But just like with Coach Meeker, Coach Inman has done a great job with the hand he's been dealt. He told all the players at the beginning of the season, don't wait for the football guys. They said, we're not waiting for the football guys. Unfortunately for them, talent-wise, that hurt them, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
They're not going to quit football in the middle of a playoff run to join the basketball team. I don't blame anyone for that. The situation was what it was. They've done the best they can, but It hadn't been enough.
We'll see if it can turn into something, if they can get some kind of positive out of it. I think you'll see it at the end of the season. Anyway, that's it for our report cards. We passed them out. Y'all got them. Take them home to your parents. Have them look at them. Have them circle them. Come back in. Get some little other...
You know what Kenny keeps doing that? That means he's
me.
done
I'm sitting there trying to talk, and he's like, oh, no, wrap it up. Give him the wrap it up box. Hurry up. Let's get going. I'm like, no, I don't want to. But Kenny, again, all right, I'm out of here.